Morning light filtered through the heavy curtains, casting a narrow beam across the marital bed. I reached out to straighten the bedding, and my fingertips suddenly brushed against a piece of silky fabric alien and sharp to the touch. It was a pink lace underwear, clearly not mine. My heart felt as if gripped by a cold hand, making even my breath catch and falter. This was not the first time. As Caleb Lewis's personal assistant, I managed his daily affairs. As his secretly married wife of 10 years, I remained hidden in the shadows of his glamorous life. What I thought was mutual support through thick and thin was nothing but my own wishful thinking. The sound of the door lock turning echoed. Caleb Lewis had returned. He took off his coat, still cold from outside, casually threw it on the sofa, and asked with his usual detached tone, "Is breakfast ready?" I didn't move. I placed the underwear on the coffee table, my voice so calm that even I was surprised. "Whose is this?" Caleb's gaze swept over the coffee table. He knitted his brows slightly but showed no sign of panic. "Whose? It's probably something the cleaning staff forgot." The cleaning staff would leave underwear on our marital bed. I looked up at him, the disappointment in my eyes threatening to overflow. He frowned impatiently. "Emily Scott, what are you making a fuss about this time? I was out late yesterday for business engagements and don't have the energy to argue with you. I haven't caused a scene." I stood up and looked him straight in the eyes. "Caleb Lewis, let's get a divorce." The air froze instantly. Caleb was stunned, as if H just heard something unbelievable. "What did you say?" I said. "Divorce?" I repeated each word with perfect clarity. "Emily Scott, don't be childish." His tone grew darker. "Isn't our life good now? What is it that you want that I haven't given you?" "What I want, you have never given me." I turned and walked toward the bedroom. "I will prepare the divorce agreement and leave it in the study." I shut the bedroom door, blocking Caleb Lewis's gaze. And only then did I allow my tears to fall. Images from 10 years ago came vividly to mind. My father suddenly fell gravely ill and passed away, leaving behind a mountain of debt and a chaotic situation. It was Caleb Lewis who appeared, helped me clear my debts, and properly handled my father's funeral. At that time, he was gentle and reliable, the only light in my darkness. I thought I had found redemption, so I ignored others' opinions and chose to be with him. He said we shouldn't make our marriage public for now, fearing it would affect his career. And I agreed. He asked me to be his personal assistant for easier care. And I agreed. I believed that if I were patient and understanding enough, I would eventually win his true heart. But over these 10 years, unfamiliar scents of perfume, accessories that weren't mine, and occasional women's items appearing at home shattered my illusions time and again, time and again. I convinced myself that he was just playing around, that in his heart, he belonged to me. Until today, this pink underwear completely shattered my self-delusion. The phone rang, breaking through my memories. It was a call from Assistant Amy. "Ms. Emily, Mr. Lewis is at the hospital. He wants you to come immediately." I wiped away my tears, composed myself, and took a taxi to the hospital. In the ward, Caleb Lewis stood vigil beside the bed, where a pale woman lay, his business partner. "Cindy Lynn, you're here." Caleb Lewis looked at me calmly and said, "Cindy was drinking with clients yesterday and suffered a stomach hemorrhage. Please stay here and take care of her. I have a meeting." "Why me?" I stood at the doorway, not going in. "You are my assistant. Isn't this your job?" He spoke as if it were natural. "My job is to be your personal assistant, not to look after your mistress." I said each word deliberately. Cindy opened her eyes weakly and looked at Caleb. Her voice was barely above a whisper but clear enough for me to hear. "Caleb, am I causing you trouble?" "Ms. Scott, please don't blame Caleb. It was my own carelessness for drinking too much. It has nothing to do with him." She hesitated, then spoke with a trace of deliberate humility. "I know you're Caleb's assistant, and your job must be very demanding. This time, consider me asking you, could you please help take care of Caleb for a few days? He's been exhausted lately, and I really can't bear to trouble him any further." Caleb immediately softened his tone and reached out to pat Cindy's hand gently. "Don't overthink it. It's not your fault. I just haven't taken good care of you." He turned to me, eyes full of impatience and a warning glance. "Emily, did you hear that? Cindy has said enough. Why are you still sulking here? Hurry up and stay to take care of her. Am I making a fuss without reason?" I smiled bitterly. "Caleb Lewis, don't you see that she acts as the lady of the house both openly and behind your back? Do you think it's right for me to take care of the woman you're involved with?" "What woman?" Caleb's voice suddenly rose. "Emily Scott, can you stop being so narrow-minded? Cindy is an important business partner. Now that she's ill, I asked you to help take care of her. Isn't that part of your duty? My duty is to take care of your life, not to look after your mistress. I spoke each word deliberately. Caleb Lewis, if you truly care about her, then stay and take care of her yourself. Don't treat me like your free nanny. Cindy Lynn coughed a few times at just the right moment. Her eyes filled with tears as she looked at Caleb Lewis. Caleb, it's all my fault. I'll find a caregiver myself. Don't let you and Ms. Scott argue. No need. Caleb Lewis interrupted her sharply, his gaze toward me as cold as ice. Emily Scott, if you dare leave today, don't bother coming to work tomorrow. It's just a partnership. You're reading too much into it. He avoided my gaze. I don't have time to argue with you. Either stay and take care of things, or handle it yourself. Watching his resolute back as he turned and walked away, the last trace of my attachment disappeared completely. Once, the kindness he showed in helping me through difficult times was his golden ticket to immunity, but now, that golden ticket has become utterly worthless. I didn't stay at the hospital to care for Cindy Lynn. I went straight back to the company as Caleb Lewis's chief assistant. I still had a lot of work to deal with. Just as I sat down, the public relations manager approached me. Ms. Emily, it's bad photos of Mr. Lewis and Cindy Lynn at the hospital have been taken, and the rumors are spreading all over the internet. I opened the trending searches and saw the hashtag Caleb Lewis Cindy Lynn Hospital prominently listed, accompanied by intimate photos of the two in a hospital room. The photos were taken from awkward angles, making the scene appear decidedly ambiguous. I understand now. I took a deep breath and began handling the crisis. I contacted the public relations team to release a statement clarifying that they only had a professional relationship and were discussing a project at the hospital. I engaged online commentators to guide public opinion, and reached out to the media to have the false reports removed. After completing all these steps, it was already 6 in the evening. I rubbed my aching shoulders as Caleb's call came through. What's going on with the scandal? Why has it gotten so big? His tone was full of accusation, as if I had committed an unforgivable mistake. I told you to keep an eye on Cindy. Don't let her get too close to me. Why haven't you been paying any attention? I've almost taken care of it. There shouldn't be any major repercussions going forward. I suppressed my resentment and replied calmly. The photos were taken by paparazzi lying in wait, using tricky angles. I've had the public relations team issue a clarification statement and contacted several major media outlets to remove their reports. Almost. He snorted coldly, his tone dripping with contempt without any attempt to conceal it. Emily Scott, is this the result of your work? There's still a lot of discussion online. If this affects the cooperation between me and the Lynn Group, can you take responsibility? I have supported you for so many years. Not to have you handle things so carelessly, Mr. Lewis. I have done my utmost. My voice trembled slightly, years of pent-up resentment nearly bursting forth at that moment. I haven't eaten a bite nor had a sip of water all morning while dealing with this. I'm not being careless. I truly have done my best. How could it turn out like this despite your best efforts? His tone grew even sterner. I didn't support you just so you could do nothing. If you can't even handle these small matters, then tell me, what use are you? Am useless? I could no longer hold back. My voice suddenly rose. Caleb Lewis, be honest with yourself. Have I been useless over these 10 years? From your company's countless affairs to managing your family's daily needs, haven't I handled all of it? Every time you got involved with other women and caused scandals, haven't I always cleaned up your mess? And now you actually say I am useless? Support me? I suddenly smiled. Caleb Lewis, have you ever thought that besides being your assistant, I am also your wife? There was a brief silence on the other end of the phone. You're bringing this up again? His tone was impatient. Emily Scott, I'll say it again, don't joke with me about divorce. I'm not joking, I said firmly. I will prepare the divorce agreement as soon as possible. You really insist on this, don't you? His voice turned cold. Fine, if you want a divorce, you leave empty-handed. I don't want anything, I said without hesitation. All I want is to divorce you. After I finished speaking, I hung up the phone immediately. Outside the window, the sky gradually darkened, and the city's neon lights came on one after another. I watched the bustling traffic outside and suddenly realized that in these 10 years, I had never truly been his wife. I was merely his tool, someone who could deal with his problems, take care of daily life, and be on call whenever he needed me. Once I decided to divorce, I began sorting through my belongings. Our house was large and luxuriously decorated, yet there were hardly any things that truly belonged to me. I opened the cabinet at the very back of the walk-in closet. It was my only personal space. While tidying clothes, a delicate notebook slipped out from the pile. Not mine. I picked it up, curiosity compelling me to open it. It was Caleb Lewis's diary. Today, I assisted Emily Scott with her father's funeral arrangements. The way she looked at me was filled with gratitude so easy to control. Emily agreed to be my assistant and promised not to disclose our marriage. Such a sensible woman, she saved me a lot of trouble. Cindy Lynn is intriguing, much more playful than Emily. But it's just for fun, nothing serious. Emily Scott's ability to handle crises keeps improving. With her around, I have far fewer worries. For now, I can't let her go. Another unfamiliar necklace appeared, and Emily Scott surprisingly didn't ask about it. It seems she still doesn't care about me enough, but perhaps that's for the best. It saves me trouble. Page after page. Every sentence felt like a sharp blade, cutting deeply into my heart. So, from the very beginning, it was all a lie. His kindness toward me was merely a means to control me. Appointing me as his assistant was simply to exploit me. His tolerance of my presence was only because I was useful. What I believed to be deep affection was nothing more than a carefully crafted scheme. Tears fell onto the diary, blurring the ink. What are you looking at? Caleb Lewis's voice suddenly broke the silence. I looked up and threw the diary in front of him, pointing at the words. My voice shaking with anger. Is this your true confession? So easy to control. Saved me a lot of trouble, Caleb Lewis. Am I really just a tool for you to manipulate and use as you please? Seeing the diary, Caleb's expression changed instantly from surprise to panic, then to furious shame. Who told you to look at my things? Emily Scott, don't you have any sense of boundaries? My personal belongings are not for you to rummage through. So what if I looked? I stood up and looked him squarely in the eye, the disappointment and anger in my gaze nearly spilling over. Caleb Lewis, you disgust me. I thought you helped me out of genuine kindness, but it was all a calculated scheme from the start. You took advantage of my gratitude, treating me like your possession, trampling my feelings without restraint. Emily Scott, don't be ungrateful, he retorted, ashamed and furious. If it weren't for me, you'd have been crushed by debt long ago, left homeless on the streets. I've given you a comfortable life. What more could you want? A privileged life? I laughed, nearly to the point of tears. This kind of privileged life hidden in the shadows, watching you flirt with other women, and still having to clean up your messes is not something I want. Caleb Lewis, what you call help is just your way of controlling me. For these 10 years, I've worked myself to the bone for you. I've long since repaid your so-called kindness. I have already repaid your kindness over these 10 years. I sneered. I've toiled for you, handled all your trouble, and even tolerated your flirtations with other women. Isn't that enough repayment? He was left speechless by my sharp confrontation. I will send you the divorce agreement tomorrow. I picked up my packed suitcase. I don't want to stay in this house for another second. Don't regret it once you've left, he shouted from behind me. I didn't look back. The moment I stepped out the door, it felt like breaking free from a heavy chain. Even the air seemed fresher.